Now, the ANC has trashed the Sunday Times article alleging Gupta's involvement in the process of replacing Finance Minister Nhlanhla Nene. ANC says the article is just gossip mongering being masqueraded as news. The party will be approaching the press ombudsman to seek relief against the poor and shoddy journalism of the newspaper. Further, the Deputy Secretary General of the ANC, who has also been accused of being a party to the incident, is seeking legal advice on her options with regards to the lies being peddled about her by the paper.
Sunday Times has stooped to new lows in terms of their reporting. The story that they run during the day today is one that speaks of shoddy journalism. It has absolutely no substance whatsoever, and it peddles rumors as if they are fact and news. So as the African National Congress, we will be approaching the press ombudsman, and specifically we're speaking on the fact that the Sunday Times is not reporting news accurately and fairly like they're supposed to. And second to that, they have made no effort to collaborate these rumors that they've heard and that they are now running as news. The Deputy Secretary General of the African National Congress, Comrade Jessie Duarte, is also seeking legal advice on the options that are open to her. Because as you know, all the parties that are implicated in the story have roundly rejected these accusations. But the Sunday Times insists to run the story because you can't let truth stand in the way of a good story, apparently, at the Sunday Times.
The article that has drawn all-round denials alleges that President Jacob Zuma's son Duduzane and the members of the Gupta family offered Deputy Minister Mcebisi Jonas, the then Finance Minister, Nhlanhla Nene's job. The paper claims Jonas was offered the Finance Ministry twice. First, the Guptas at a Sandton hotel on November 27th last year, and again a few days later by ANC Deputy Secretary General Jessie Duarte. Denying all the accusations, Guptas insist their focus is on business and not politics. The hollowness of the Sunday Times story became apparent once seen in the light of evidence. The basic premise of the story, that a meeting took place on the 27th of November with the Guptas in attendance, is refuted by documentary evidence. The stamps on the Atul Gupta's passport clearly show that he was not even in the country on the date when the meeting is alleged to have been organized.
The interesting thing is that there are always unnamed sources, and there are facts that do not come to bear. And just if we take this particular instance, where the Sunday Times mentions a meeting that took place, and a meeting that took place with the Gupta brothers, it mentions specifically Mr. Atul Gupta. Now, Mr. Atul Gupta, if they check their facts correctly, Mr. Atul Gupta was out of the country at the time. So how would he have attended a meeting in South Africa if he was out of the country?
Look at the facts and allegations of this particular case. Sunday Times alleges that Mcebisi Jonas, the Deputy Finance Minister, met with RJ and Atul Gupta and the President's son, Duduzane Zuma. Duduzane Zuma coming out and saying there was no such meeting at all, and the Guptas coming out and saying that they were not even in the country on the date of that particular meeting, the 27th of November last year. The Sunday Times alleging that Jonas, given a list of 4 people in the Treasury to get rid of, including the Director General Fuzile Lungisa, as well as the Treasury coming out and saying that the 3 have denied any knowledge of the same. One refuses to comment on that particular matter, and you're having the Sunday Times coming out and alleging that Jessie Duarte offered Jonas the Finance Ministry. That was the second time that the paper alleges. You get Jessie Duarte coming out and saying, I don't know what you are talking about. She goes on and further says that if he's, referring to Jonas, is the one telling you, I phoned him, then ask him. She further on goes on to say that she will be considering her legal options against the Sunday Times. Let's move on. We see that the Sunday Times alleges that Jonas called ANC Secretary General and our former Finance Minister Nhlanhla Nene to report the Gupta meeting. You're getting Gwede Mantashe coming out and saying that, look, phone Mcebisi and ask him because he is alive. Then you're getting Nhlanhla Nene coming out and saying, I know nothing about the meeting. And those are some of the facts and allegations coming out from the Sunday Times, as well as the Gwede Mantashe and Nhlanhla Nene, as well as the Gupta family.